Good evening and welcome to the Garfield Heights City School District regular board meeting. This evening is Tuesday, February 18th, 2025. I call the meeting to order. Mr. Oko, can I get roll call, please?
Ms. Cox,
Yes.
Mrs. Daniels, Ms. Thomas,
Here.
Ms. Morrison,
Here.
Ms. King.
Here, and could you let the record reflect that Ms. Daniels has an excused absence?
I'll let the minutes reflect that.
Thank you. Could I get a motion to adopt the agenda of this evening's meeting?
So moved.
Can I get a second?
Second.
That was moved by Ms. Cox and moved by Ms. Morrison and second by Ms. Cox. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, can I get roll call, please?
Ms. Morrison,
Yes.
Ms. Cox,
Yes.
Ms. Thomas,
Yes.
Ms. King.
Yes. At this time, I'd like for us to take a moment of silent reflection, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance led by Ms. Thomas. Can I get a motion to approve the minutes from the January 13th organizational and special meetings and the January 27th regular board meeting as presented?
So moved. Second.
That was moved by Ms. Cox and second by Ms. Morrison. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, can I get roll call, please?
Ms. Cox,
Yes.
Ms. Morrison,
Yes.
Ms. Thomas,
Yes.
Ms. King.
Yes. Next is our board president's report. The month of February is Black History Month, and throughout the month, staff and students have done a fantastic job in honoring the treasures and the talents of African Americans, both past and present. One aspect of our district life that truly shines in the Garfield Heights City Schools is its embrace of diversity, equity, and inclusion. And our team, led by Mr. Hurt, Kiera Rice, and Yolanda Hamilton, and others, work hard to make this a priority. One such event that everyone should attend is the Cultural Immersion event sponsored in part by the Mujambo Dance Collective, where Aaron Weaver does an outstanding job of training our students to learn how to perform with confidence and showcase their individual capabilities. This year's event falls on Thursday, February 20th at 7 p.m. at the high school's Center for Performing Arts, and we encourage each of you to attend. Thank you for your continued support. The communities must do all it can do to become informed of the impact of the renewal levy on the May 2025 ballot that will not increase taxes, but will help stabilize the district's finances. One way you can learn more is by attending the State of the Schools presentation on Wednesday, March 5th, 2025 at 6 p.m. at the Center for Performing Arts to watch live demonstrations of our students in action. Dr. Reynolds and Treasurer Oko will explain how funding will be jeopardized for these student activities and educational opportunities without the community's support. Please mark your calendars for Wednesday, March 5th, 2025 at 6 p.m. The strategic planning process for the Garfield Heights City Schools continues to unfold as well, as members of the community have been diligent about sharing their input with our facilitators from the Educational Service Center of Northeast Ohio. But be on the lookout as the board continues to work towards a revised mission, vision, values, and goals. On behalf of the Board of Education, I'd like to commend Dr. Reynolds and his recent efforts to exemplify the science, technology, engineering, arts, and math, or STEAM, accomplishments taking place at our buildings. From interesting science projects to our performing arts and talents to the emerging presence of the agriculture science curriculum and the amazing NASA award received by our middle school students. Garfield Heights students are poised for STEAM success, and we applaud you for beginning to reorient the district down this valuable path and journey. This concludes my report. Are there any questions on the board president's report? Hearing none, we'll go on to committee reports. Are there any committee reports?
Madam President,
Ms. Cox?
just wanted to share information from the Academic Excellence Committee. We will be meeting in the next few weeks, a Zoom meeting to discuss second quarter data. And the Strategic Planning Committee, the next meeting will be March 29th at ESC. That concludes my report.
Thank you, Ms. Cox. Are there any questions for Ms. Cox? Hearing none, are there any additional committee reports? I have a student athletics and activities report. Girls basketball, they finished their regular season with a 12-10 record and secured third place in the Lake Erie League, the highest conference finish for our girls program in over a decade. Stacia Mobley capped off the regular season with a dominant performance, scoring over 30 points in a victory at Coventry. Boys basketball concluded their regular season with an impressive 20-2 record, claiming the Lake Erie League title for the third consecutive year. Seniors Ari Jones, Devon Jackson recently earned full athletic scholarships to Hilbert College and Wilberforce University, respectively. The wrestling team celebrated a successful senior night with victories over John Marshall and Maple Heights. At the Lake Erie League Championship meet, multiple wrestlers earned top finishes. Faith Boozer, fourth place, Chris Ephraim and Jaden Anderson, third place, Joseph Vivalia and Brandon Irby, second place, and Kevin Eubanks, DeAndre Adams, and Maurice Jones, who all claimed first place in their respective weight classes. This ends my report. Are there any other committee reports?
Madam President,
Ms. Thomas?
I have a policy committee report.
Thank you.
The policy committee met on February 7th to discuss the following agenda items: our facility naming policy, organizational meeting agenda items, and release time for religious instruction policy. We will have a follow-up policy meeting to continue discussing these policies and get feedback from our attorney regarding these policies, as well as policies regarding new state initiatives. Following our next meeting, we will have recommendations for the board.
Thank you, Ms. Thomas. Are there any questions for Ms. Thomas in regards to her policy report? All right, hearing none. Are there any additional committee reports? We'll move on to presentations. I'll turn the floor over to Dr. Reynolds.
Thank you, Madam President. Tonight we'll be hearing from the William Foster team. They've been doing some outstanding work here in the building and led by Ms. Jade Woodson, and she'll be presenting an update for the board tonight.
Good evening, everybody. Here we go. Okay, my name is Jade Woodson. Right now I am serving as William Foster Elementary School's principal, and this is our update for you. So looking at our 23-24 school report card, you will see that we did receive a 2.5 star rating and an early literacy rating of 1 star. When looking at the data and comparing it, though, we have to identify our gains. There have been some. So when we're looking at our early literacy gains web data for kindergarten and first grade, you're going to see some shifts. Already just in kindergarten, in comparison to our fall and winter data in comparison this year, you'll see that our students had a 5% increase of being one track during the winter this year in comparison to last year. So our kiddos are growing. First grade, they are maintaining the trend, so we are not seeing any major downward trend. For early numeracy, again, this is our Ames Web data. You're going to see that we didn't have any fall data there for 2023-2024 school year, but we did have some winter data there. And once again, you'll see in comparison to last year, we're having these increases. During our Ames Web testing for the winter season, we had a 12% increase of our students being on track in comparison to last year. This is with math, early numeracy. First grade, again, we're maintaining the trend, no major downward trend. However, we know that there's work to do. And so how are we going about addressing this? We're having our teacher-based team meetings. We're having our on-campus model classrooms where we're bringing teachers in, bringing classrooms in, so our coaches are able to show our instructors the proper way to deliver the content that you're seeing in our students' classrooms. We're having our weekly instructional rounds. Our teachers are tirelessly working on their science reading training that has been issued by the state of Ohio. We also have something that we'd like to offer to our teachers is coaching cafes. So they have the opportunity to just tune up some areas, be it they're new or old, tune up some areas in their instruction to be more effective. And then some other things too I want to point out, just having those tough conversations, not keeping the blinders closed. We're dealing with children from all over, from all different ages, all different backgrounds, and we have to have that knowledge of their backgrounds and know that, hey, everybody's coming with different information when they enter these doors. And so therefore, we have to be honest about our progress and reflective in how we're going about teaching them on a daily basis. We also have an open door policy. Teachers here at William Foster know that they can see me, they can see their coaches. If you are in need of help, that door is open. All you gotta do is ask. Now our attendance. We have partnered with the Browns, as we've done in the past, so we are implementing our Stay in the Game pledge. We have our awards going out for students that are coming to school, not missing 3 days or more than 1 day. We have our monthly absence intervention team meetings so we can make sure that we are monitoring the students that are not coming to school and finding out the reasons why and how to better support our families. We're also giving them reasons to be in school. So part of the thing that we're doing is we're having spirit days and weeks so kids are excited and pumped to come to William Foster and dress up and show their gear. Even in that picture, you see that day we had come as the individual that you like to be when you grow up. So we had some nurses, we had some doctors, FBI agents, firefighters, all types. In comparison to last year, in regards to chronic absenteeism, last year we ended up at 44.9%. Our goal is to get that down by 10%. And you can already see currently we're already at 13.7% for halfway through the year, so we're hoping to keep this low. Something that we're really excited to share at this campus is we've revamped PBIS, so that is positive behavior interventions and support. We are striving to go for the bronze this year. We're not taking no's this time. And so because we revamped it, we have to look at the basics, going back to it. We updated our behavior matrix. So it's more, it's kid-friendly language. The kids actually understand what they are doing and how it connects. We revamped their behavior charts. So now we're also bringing in that universal school-wide opportunity, not only for the kids to earn what you're going to see coming up here, which is PAW points to go towards fabulous events, but to also communicate with our families as well. And we also updated our PBIS staff handbook, so now we are all working from the same page. And because we went back to those basics, we were able to now bring all these awesome things to our campus. We have PBIS week where we're setting the tone, setting expectations up for the kids, teaching them how and the why of what we do here at William Foster. We have our Bulldog Shop. They have their Bulldog Brigade, which is our quarterly meeting where we all come together and celebrate our successes, academic, behavior, all of it. Top Dog of the Month, we have our monthly PBIS events because we understand that when working with kindergartners and first graders, they need something a little bit more immediate than just the semester events. We also introduce conscious discipline, and that ties right into our PBIS system because our teachers are understanding that there are different ways to go about issuing discipline rather than giving a suspension, removing the child from the classroom. How can we make any consequence that's issued more meaningful and getting the kids to learn from that so they're back in that classroom learning? We're still using our Satchel Pulse in the morning, so we have our SEL lessons that our teachers are holding every single morning with the kids. They have their morning zones check-in, and then we also have our Tier 1 and 2 PBIS meetings as well as our behavior committee meetings as well. So these are just some images from our task force to Bulldog Brigade. Get to do some fun stuff. We introduced Minute to Win It, and the kids loved it, and we integrated the staff into it as well. The kids had the opportunity to earn 20 Bulldog bucks, and the staff a chance to win a $5 gift card. So you can just about guess who won. Here's just some images from our quarterly events. So far, we've had a winter dance party with some balloons. The kids loved it. Our hot cocoa and cookies with their different holiday-themed videos. And then just recently, we had our ice cream van here. So we had a Bulldog burger truck stop by. But it's not just about the kids, it's about the staff too. We don't have staff showing up and showing out. We're not gonna have kids that are learning and being productive. So there's lots of things that we're also doing to just boost the morale of our staff. Ms. Corrado, our literacy specialist, is always doing a Trivia Tuesday. We have our monthly team potlucks. Something that we're about to start introducing that we're excited to announce is the U-Rock staff acknowledgement, just giving the staff that opportunity to just know that they are doing well, and it's paying off. We're doing something called Check This Out shortly here, where we're going into classrooms now. We are taking pieces of things that people are doing and sharing it with the rest, because one thing is for sure, teachers are doing great things. We gotta get it out there. We're having our words of encouragement, fortune cookies, just to pick me up. Our Celebrating Life word of the month, just to get teachers a break. Sometimes they gotta learn how to balance work and life and getting them to celebrate the life that they have and be appreciative of those things. We have our Sunshine Committee, and also again, that open door policy. They gotta know that they have a shoulder there to cry on, it too when they need it, and also be productive. Here's just a list of, I condensed it as much as I could, but just a lot of our community partnerships. We have the Cuyahoga Public County Library coming in monthly reading to our students. Kids Book Bank is always donating books, as well as the Cleveland Kids in Need, with Shoes Clothes for Kids. We're partnered up with the mobile clinic, and we had our mobile dentist stop by as well. Partnered with the Browns. Canes, on a seasonally basis, is always donating meals to our kids. And then we have this buddy relationship here with First Federal Lakewood, where they're integrating their junior baby system into our PBIS system. So that way we are still connecting these making our students worldwide community learners, tying what they're doing to real life experiences. And just showcasing some of the things that we've done. We had a literacy night in October. We had the NET show come out for their mindset mission to teach kids how to face and overcome challenges, adversity in their daily lives. We also have some book tastings where kids have the chance to experience some of the things that they were reading in their stories. Our new playground, you heard about it. The kids love it. And there's some pictures of our spirit days. But this is just the tip of the iceberg. We're not even there yet. So we're halfway through the year. We have our Mujumba Dance Celebration coming up this Thursday. We have our William Foster Takes Over the United States, if you can join us in April. We still have our CPL read-alouds, our kindergarten and first grade concerts, our music concerts are coming up. We have many field trips to the zoo and the Canalway Center. And then we have our William Foster Unity Project coming up at the end of this month to celebrate us being one. And there's much more to it. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Ms. Woodson. Are there any questions for Ms. Woodson? I'd like to just say that you're doing a wonderful job here, you and the staff. Love to see the increase that we've seen in some of our academics and the decrease in terms of absenteeism.
Thank you, that means a lot.
Any questions for Ms. Woodson?
Madam President,
Ms. Thomas?
nice job here. I do have a few questions. If you could take us back to the to the absent slide, or the attendance slide, rather. That 13.7%, does that mean we are currently down 13.7% from the 44?
This means we only have 13.7% of our students currently absent.
Thank you. Just, I had to clarify.
Yeah, no, I totally understand.
That is amazing. I know you guys have a lot of different initiatives and different things that you guys have been doing to excite the students about coming to class or coming to school, but I mean, what else can you share about that? Because that is a drastic change.
What I'd like to say on that is that as a building, we are coming together to collectively heal. Because as adults, we are identifying that we are not our best selves, so we cannot be the best for our kiddos. So I believe that the adults are buying into it, what we're doing, we're getting the momentum going on, they're feeling supported, they're feeling good. And so that's translating down to the kids as well that are wanting to now be here.
I love that. Thank you. And then can you talk to us a little bit about your building support staff? What does that look like here in the building?
Oh man, my building support staff are awesome right now. So as you may know, we are down, I'm a principal and a dean, but our counselor, our intervention manager, we have Mr. Kowalski and Ms. Fraser stepping in, and everybody's carrying the weight, and it's paying off. And I believe that the teachers, because they're seeing all of us work so hard for them and to be there to support them, they're starting to now pick up their weight as well to be the best teacher that they can. The support staff are awesome here. I want to share with them.
Thank you.
Are there any other questions for Ms. Woodson?
One more thing.
Yes.
The United Skates event that you guys are having in April, can we be sure to make sure we share that with all elementary buildings and with our community? Because I would like to come.
Yes, ma'am. Yep, we're going to share it out. That was our first mistake with the first one. I'm like, wait, I started seeing everybody else's thing, like, we can share this with everybody, get them skating. The parents loved it. So yeah, you can stop by and show us the movies. We might be in contest, I don't know. Some of our parents can skate.
I'm just trying not to fall.
You will.
All right, thank you, Ms. Woodson.
Thank you, guys.
All right, we'll move on to our superintendent's report.
Thank you, Madam President. First off, great job, Ms. Woodson. We've been throwing a few curveballs this year in this building, and she and her team has done an excellent job, as well as the teachers, in just making sure our kids are having exactly what they need. So thank you so much for all your efforts. But again, thank you, Madam President. The Garfield Heights City Schools will be hosting an important State of the Schools presentation on Wednesday, March 5th, 2005 at 6 o'clock at the Center for Performing Arts at the high school. Now, during this presentation, each of the buildings in our school district will be showcasing a student group to demonstrate our powerful educational impact taking place in grades K through 12 and how funding for these opportunities could be jeopardized without passing our renewal levy in May. So please mark in your calendars for Wednesday, March 5th at 6 o'clock p.m. to plan to attend this important event. And also next month, Treasurer Oko and I will begin our coffee talks. That will be an informal conversations that we're going to be having with the community and also with us, with district leaders as well. Now, 4 are planned at the moment, and each will be at 9 o'clock to 10 o'clock at Dunkin' Donuts in March and McDonald's in April. The March dates are Wednesday, March 12th and Wednesday, March 26th at Dunkin' Donuts. And also it's going to be at 9 o'clock to 10 o'clock. And I look forward to seeing everyone there. And this month, We'll also spotlight our paraprofessionals and our building aid teams. Now, on behalf of the entire staff of Garfield Heights City Schools, I want to extend a heartfelt thank you for their incredible work that they do every single day. Now, their dedication, their patience, and their commitment to supporting our students and teachers do not go unnoticed. You play an essential role in creating a positive and inclusive environment for our students and for all of our schools, and it would not be the same without you. Your contributions have a lasting impact, whether you work one-on-one with students, assisting classrooms, or extra support whenever it is needed. Your kindness, your hard work, and flexibility help shape the students and their success, and we are truly grateful for that. We appreciate all that you do and celebrate the difference you make in our district. So thank you for your unwavering dedication and your care that you bring every single day. Also, congratulations to the wonderfully talented students at Garfield Heights Middle School Gifted Organization for earning a national achievement in the recent news as it has won NASA's TechRise High Altitude Balloon Challenge. Garfield Heights Middle School was selected as one of 60 school groups throughout the entire United States with proposals that were selected out of 720 proposals. This means that our middle school gifted students will be able to continue their experimental proposal and see that being brought to life with the guidance from NASA engineers and mentors that will help build this project. That's an awesome thing right there, that NASA is actually working with our students. And I just had to say that because I'm a super nerd, and I would have been going crazy if I heard the word NASA coming to help us with a project. So they are constructing an experiment where it's going to help to measure the intensity of storms, and it's going to be fitted on a weather balloon, and it's entitled Storm Seeker, the Pressure, Temperature, and Humidity Project, and it will be updated on a future engineer's website aligned with NASA, and it works towards completion, and our students are very, very excited. So congratulations to the Garfield Heights middle school gifted students for their outstanding accomplishment. Finally, I hope to see everyone at the high school on this Thursday at the Majuba Dance Collective's concert and celebration for Black History Month on Thursday, February 20th from 7 o'clock to 8:30 p.m., where we will celebrate the birthplace of jazz, Congo Square, and watch our students perform. This is a free event, and we hope to see everyone there. And that concludes the report.
Thank you, Dr. Reynolds.
Thank you.
Are there any questions for Dr. Reynolds in his report?
Madam President,
Ms. Cox?
Dr. Reynolds, can you share that date, the last one, on the 20th, and the place and time, please?
Yes, I sure can. Again, it's the Majuba Dance Collective. It is a huge production that has been outstanding the years that I've been there, and probably in years of past as well, but it is an outstanding event. It's on February 20th at 7 o'clock. Begins at 7 o'clock and ends at 8:30, and it's going to be at the high school at the, where is it? It is at the Performing Arts Center. Again, a lot of our students, we have several students, almost nearly 200 students who will be participating. Staff members will be participating as well. They are working in the buildings right now to make sure that it is as exciting and as professional as it's always been. It's an outstanding event. We hope to see everyone there.
Thank you. Any other questions for Dr. Reynolds? All right, if not, we'll move on to remarks from the public regarding agenda items. And we don't have any remarks. So we will move on to reports and recommendations of the treasurer. Could I get a motion to approve, move and waive the reading of 8.1? Do I have to do the resolutions by themselves?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So could I get a motion to move and waive the reading of 8.1? Is there a second?
Second.
That was moved by Ms. Morrison and second by Ms. Thomas. Are there any questions? Anything you want to highlight, Mr. Oko?
Yeah, thank you, Madam President. So this is July through January, the fiscal year. We're about halfway through with this report. A few key things to note in the report this month. The real property tax collections are lower this year compared to last year. Again, January, we only got 80% of our full collection advance from the county. They're really holding back property taxes this year for some reason. They're giving us the reasoning that since they did the big update for the county, they're behind schedule on sending out collection notices and processing all of that money coming through. So we just got our second advance in February, a little bit later than we hoped for. Again, that one was even lower percentage-wise, at 60%. So it'll make up for what for the month-to-month variation from fiscal 25 to 24 at this time. You'll see that when it all comes to our final settlement in March. But again, it's frustrating for us because the ebb and flow, you know, we sometimes look at postponing bill payments because we have to make payroll. And our payrolls are about $1.1 million every 2 weeks. And when you run out of cash like that, when the advances are lower, it's tough to really operate sometimes when we get close in those 6-month periods when we're paying our bonds off. The other revenue item to note, again, just reiterating the data issue that we're currently dealing with as a school district. Our state payments are extremely low compared to what they should be, and we're confident that we will continue to work to get that cleaned up because we have to. Like, we don't have a choice to fix that. Again, it's outlined that total revenues are very much lower than they should be in the report. I'm happy to take any questions about that if needed, but the diagnostic of that will not change until the enrollment numbers change, which our administrative team is working on. Expenditures, unfortunately, we are getting hammered by special education costs. Nothing we can control. We have open enrolled students coming in from other districts with already written IEPs. Cleveland is the biggest offender, honestly, of this. They provide services like curb-to-curb transportation, out-of-district education that costs sometimes upwards of $100,000, $120,000 a pupil. And we're already holistically underfunded in special education as it is. We utilize a lot of Idea B grants for that, but unfortunately, we're holistically underfunded in that as well. So, for example, you'll see on the grant page, we've already expended close to 60% of our Idea B funds, which halfway through the year, it's very high. We run out of that very quickly with encumbrances. And then our legal fees are up. As we move into negotiations this year, we will see that uptick for the year. That's really all I have for the report. I mean, we're balanced to the penny and grants are being expended as we go. I do want to make a note that the Federal Department of Education under the Trump administration, there's been a lot of talk about loss of federal funds. Entitlement grants like Title I, Title II, Title IV, and Idea B they're called block grants. So they're used on data from the year before. So we're in fiscal 25. It's based on data and allocation from the Omnibus Reconciliation Act that Congress passed last year. So our funding is locked in and secured for this year. Now, if they do dismantle the Department of Education, we would have to look at the effect of that on our school district as we get about 25% of our revenue from federal funds. But I can tell you, I can confirm with you that there will be no loss of federal funds via executive order action from this administration this year. If Congress acts to dismantle the Department of Education, then we will have to look seriously at how that affects specifically our Title I programming, which we do a fantastic job with here. We are renowned throughout the state with our Title I programming and our Idea B, which we have the IEP and 504 plan, structure through. So Mr. Forte and Ms. Bezier have been working with me specifically on this as they oversee some of those funds. But I just want to make that clear to the board, to the community, whoever watches, that that is not something that we're dealing with this year. It will be something we look at moving into the summertime when their budget flips over in October. All right?
Thank you, Mr.
Of
Oko.
course.
Are there any questions for Mr. Oko? All right, hearing none. That was moved by Ms. Morrison and second by Ms. Thomas. Could I get roll call?
Ms. Morrison? Yes. Ms. Thomas?
Yes.
Ms. Cox? Ms. King?
Yes. Could I get a motion to, can I do the two together or they have to be separate?
I would prefer they do one by one.
Okay.
Yes.
Could I get a motion to approve Resolution 2025-11, Property Tax Valuation Complaint Resolution? Could I get a motion to approve? Is there a second? That was moved by Ms. Morrison and second by Ms. Cox. Are there any questions? Hearing none, could I get roll call?
Ms. Morrison? Yes. Ms. Cox?
Yes.
Ms. Thomas?
Yes.
Ms. King?
Yes. Could I get a motion to approve Property Tax Valuation Complaint Resolution 2025-12?
So moved.
That was moved by Ms. Cox and second by Ms. Morrison. Is there any discussion?
Quickly.
Mr. Oko?
Madam President, yes. So both these resolutions that you're voting on tonight are commercially owned residential properties within Garfield Heights. We have board policy that we do not file complaints against residential owners of property in Garfield Heights, but this is an outside company, a foreign investor possibly, that bought up property and are now, went through the evaluation process and are filing a complaint to have their assessed valuations lowered by over 50%. So it's important that we contest that as a school board to make sure we don't lose any property tax through those. Again, we do not contest residentially owned properties in Garfield Heights, but if they're foreign invested companies that come in and buy these homes, we will, since that's considered an LLC and it's not a traditional Class 1 property.
Thank you, Mr. Oko.
Of course.
Any questions? All right, that was moved by Ms. Cox and second by Ms. Morrison. Could I get roll call, please?
Ms. Cox?
Yes.
Ms. Morrison? Yes. Ms. Thomas?
Yes.
Ms. King?
Yes. Could I get a motion to move and waive the reading of 9.1 through 14.1?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
That was moved by Ms. Thomas and second by Ms. Morrison. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, again, that was moved by Ms. Thomas and second by Ms. Morrison. Could I get roll call?
Ms. Thomas?
Yes.
Ms. Morrison? Yes. Ms. Cox?
Yes.
Ms. King?
Yes. Could I get a motion to move and waive the reading of 15.1 through 17.3?
Madam President,
Yes.
we don't have any official business under 15.
Under 15.1?
Yeah.
Okay. Could I get a motion to move and waive the reading of 16.1 through 17.3? Is there a second?
Second.
That was moved by Ms. Morrison and second by Ms. Thomas. Is there any discussion? With no discussion, could I get roll call, please?
Ms. Morrison? Yes. Ms. Thomas?
Yes.
Ms. Cox?
Yes.
Ms. King?
Yes. Remarks from the public regarding miscellaneous school items. Okay, no remarks. At this time, We will enter into executive session at 6:43. There will, 6:43 to consider personnel matters in regards to a public employee's evaluation and compensation. And there will be no action after we come out of executive session.
Can I get a motion in a
Could I get a
second?
motion to go into executive session at 6:43?
Second.
That was moved by Ms. Thomas, or I'm sorry, Ms. Morrison, and second by Ms. Thomas. Could I get roll call, please?
Ms. Morrison? Yes. Ms. Thomas?
Yes.
Ms. Cox?
Yes.
Ms. King?
Yes. We're now entering into executive session.